A fresco is a wall painting technique of a special kind. It is often confused with a mural. A mural may be painted on a wall or even on a canvas and then glued to the wall. But true fresco, the technique Michelangelo used in the Sistine Chapel, is part and parcel of the wall. The painter paints directly on a fresh plaster coating as it dries. He must complete his work during the few hours when the surface is just dry enough to suck in the pigment or coloring matter and just wet enough to combine its own moisture with the water containing the pigment. During these few hours, the plaster absorbs the pigment a fraction of an inch below its surface. The pigment is bound into the wall. It is the wall. Because a fresco is part of the wall, it shares the fortunes of the building itself. If the wall cracks, as it must in time, the fresco cracks. The amount of surface a fresco painter can cover in one day depends on the complexity of his design and his own speed and physical stamina. Michelangelo covered large areas more quickly than most painters were able to do. He completed the Sistine ceiling, an area 43 feet by 118 feet, in 4 years. In this photograph of the entire ceiling, the area of the detail on the right, about 36 square feet, is outlined by the small rectangle. The fresco painter plasters only the area of wall he expects to paint that day, since each day's work is a complete unit. He cannot make later corrections or paint into finished work to unify it with a later section, and so divides his work into areas bounded by natural divisions. Here, Michelangelo takes advantage of a definite line that separates the neck from the back and a less conspicuous joint in the plaster surrounding the area of the head. Before he begins to paint, the artist transfers guidelines to the damp plaster from a paper cartoon, which is a full-scale preliminary study. In the head of Adam, these guidelines show up as gouges in the plaster.